All right, counterpunch boxing. Okay, Canelo Alvarez versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Okay, look, I broke this story about a month and a half ago, maybe about, yeah, a little over a month ago. I told, all you guys and anyone who would listen that, Canelo Alvarez, like, we're going to have, or potentially have the Canelo Chavez fight. No one believed me. They said, Chavez is too big, no way they can make the fight, blah, 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 blah. But here we are, a month and a half later, Canelo Chavez, and the fight's going to be May 6th, Cinco de Mayo weekend. Cinco de Mayo is actually on Friday, May 5th. The fight will be May 6th, which is a Saturday HBO pay-per-view. And, look, I like the fight. I mean, I'd rather see Canelo. Well, let me back up. I'm going to tell you everything I don't like about it. But as far as the actual matchup, I like it. What I don't like are all the diva bullshit demands on Canelo's part. Okay, I mean, all right, let's just get right into it. So let's just, I mean, where do I start? Let's go back to the Amir Khan fight. Okay, you have a guy, Amir Khan. At that time, he had only had 3 fights at welterweight. He was basically a light welterweight. Okay, we all know that. Now, but Canelo had won the WBC middleweight belt off Miguel Cotto, through a catchweight. It's like all these catchweights, they're hard to keep up with. I mean, Canelo wins the belt at a catchweight, goes on to defend that belt with a welterweight. I mean, it's totally insane. Knocks him out. We know what happened, and then it's time to step up and take that Gennady Golovkin fight. And what happens? Canelo vacates. He blames it on the sanctioning body, the WBC. He's not going to live under their demands and under their rule of thumb. He's going to vacate because it's just so wrong, and it has nothing to do with ducking Gennady Golovkin. It is the principle, the boxer sanctioning body principle. Canelo's going to, be a big man and make a stand. I mean, this guy is such a complete bitch. Okay, now, by the way, in that fight with Amir Khan and Canelo Alvarez, Amir Khan wanted a rehydration clause. Basically, he was trying to prevent Canelo from coming in as a light heavyweight, like he always does. And of course, Golden Boy Promotion, Canelo, they simply refused. They said, no way we're going to give you, that rehydration clause. And this is Golden Boy Promotion. Just refuse to do it. Because, and as we know now, Canelo is kicking and screaming that he's the A side, like a baby. Ever since Floyd Mayweather, he feels he was cheated. He has to make an excuse for that loss when he simply got outclassed and outboxed. He blames it on all the A side bullshit, A side demands. So that's what it is. Now, he wants to be the A side, and he wants to do what Floyd Mayweather did to him with all the other fighters. So, what a bitch. I mean, okay, and the biggest problem, well, there's multiple problems, but we'll just break them down in no specific order. Okay, number one, so Canelo can't make middleweight, can't make the 160-pound limit for Gennady Golovkin, but he can he can go to 164.5, damn near super middleweight to fight Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Okay, I mean, what? I don't get it. He can't make weight for Golovkin. He needs to acclimate, fighting guys like Amir Khan because he can't make that weight. But yet now we have a fight at 164.5 pounds against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. What the hell? I mean, it's shit's crazy, man. Okay, and again, there is so much information I need to give you guys here. Where do I start? I mean, let's just start with the weight issues with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. We all know the last time Chavez made middleweight or anywhere near the fighting weight they're going to be fighting at was in 2012 against Sergio Martinez. Okay, I mean, look how thin he is. I mean, he looks like a skeleton, like he's walking dead. Okay. And this was, again, this was back in 2012. I mean, this was like 5 years ago. All right. Then after that, in, what was it, September of 2013, we have the Brian Vera fight. And I believe he came in like 4.5 pounds overweight in that fight. Okay, I mean, he's had just constant problems with coming in overweight. Pretty much every fight except for the Dominic Bridge fight, I think he actually made weight. Marcos with the Reyes fight, the Marcos Reyes fight in 2015, in 2015. Okay, again, he comes in overweight. Now that fight, he wasn't too terribly overweight. It was like a few ounces or whatever, not too bad. Um, but still overweight. And then, like I said, he finally made weight. So I don't see how he's going to make weight. So we'll see. Now, okay, in the contract it says, and I'm sure you guys have heard this, but in case you haven't, in the contract, Canelo, Golden Boy Promotion, they're going to charge Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. $1 million for every pound that he's over. Okay, I mean this is getting ridiculous. I mean, I understand there's a need for contract. There or having a contract. There's a need for details. There's a need for things like that. But this shit here. I mean, $1 million per pound. I even heard it was down to, like, if he's half a pound over, they're going to charge $500,000. If he comes in a quarter pound over, I mean, they have it down to the ounce, then he's going to be fined $250,000, and just do the math on the rest. I mean, literally, if he comes in, let's say 164, point 0.6 or point 0.7, that's 100 grand, 200 grand. I mean, they've got it down. But here's the thing. They'll put, hydration, a rehydration clause on Chavez, but Golden Boy Promotion wouldn't allow Amir Khan to have a rehydration clause. I mean, what kind of bitch shit is that? I mean, seriously, like, think about it. He's in there with a little guy, Amir Khan, and I've seen Amir Khan in person. He's a little dude, okay? He's in there with him, and oh, no, 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 you can't have a rehydration clause. Oh no. But now that Canelo is in that position where he's up against a bigger guy, they want a rehydration clause with ridiculous penalties. I mean, you want to talk about being a diva. Now, Chavez went on to say, and this is a quote, he did an interview with ESPN Deportes, and he said it was hell, and this is quote, "It was hell dealing with Canelo's demands. I said yes to the fight, but I wouldn't allow them to abuse me. I gave in to everything. The rematch clause, $1 million for every pound I'm overweight. In the rematch clause, they have a percentage on the month. So in event that they have a rematch, depending on what month of the year it is, they have a percentage that Chavez would be awarded in that particular month. Like, it depends on the month, on how much money he makes. And Chavez, he can't have any of his own fighters or any fighters affiliated with him on the undercard, because we all know these big fighters, they do that. They get, they basically put their own fighters on their undercards. Okay. Now, okay, Chavez, 2012, he was arrested for a DUI. He's been plagued with problems, constant problems. I think he had like 2 failed drug tests. And then, right after or right before the Fonfara fight, he was going around talking about how 168 was like a really good weight for him. And, he said, yeah, I feel great at this weight and blah, blah, blah. And then the dude comes in overweight. And by the way, for the Reyes fight, he was only 0.8 pounds over. That fight was at a 170 pound catch weight, and he was 0.8 pounds over, so not too bad, I guess. And before the Fonfara fight, he had a 13-month layoff, and that fight was also at a catch weight. But that fight, remember, the Fonfara fight in 2015, in April 2015, was at light heavyweight, if I recall, and again, he couldn't make the weight. So this guy, pretty much from about 2012. After the Andy Lee fight, he won against Andy Lee in 2012. After that fight, he's had nothing but problems making weight. I mean, just problem after problem. And then in 2012, like I said, he got the DUI. He had 2 failed drug tests. I mean, the guy is just plagued with problems after problems after problems. So I don't know. Is he going to make weight? Who the hell knows? I mean, I don't. I mean, he's going to look like he's dead if he does. I mean, I don't see how he's going to do it, but we'll see. I mean, I hope he does because, like I said, I think it would be, I think it would be a really good fight, and I do. I like the fight. Of course, I want the Canelo Gennady Golovkin to fight, and I want it. I want any fight that Canelo is in to be fair. I mean, all these catch weights and all these restrictions. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, that's my problem with Canelo. Even during the James Kirkland fight, I was there from beginning to end. I covered that fight. I had my press credentials. I covered that fight, and it was just incredible to see what a diva Canelo was. I mean, it was just crazy. He was such a diva. And like I said, I'll make a video about that later. And I have really good pictures, really good interviews that I've never really posted. I mean, I think it's kind of like part of boxing history. I should post it, but that just to give you one quick example, probably thousands of fans out waiting at a grocery store in Houston, Texas, and it's hot as hell. Probably I don't know, about 98 degrees. I mean, we break 100 in Houston easily. It's about a 100-degree day. Then it started pouring down rain. These people are waiting for hours and hours. Canelo's late. He gets there. He shows up like an hour and a half late. The guy talks for about 10 minutes and leaves. So he gets there like an hour and a half late. Gets up on the little stage they had made. Said, "Oh, thank you for showing up." Blah blah blah. Signed like, I don't know, 4 or 5 autographs and took off. Just shit like that. I mean, the guy is such a diva. And again, my biggest problem is, he can't make, he needs to acclimate for the middleweight limit to fight Gennady Golovkin. But now the guy is fighting above the middleweight limit, and you have all these channels out there that are defending it. Oh well, Chavez is a big guy, and of course they're going to put a rehydration clause. Well, Canelo comes in as a fucking light heavyweight, dumbass. I mean, these channels, they're jokes. Like I don't even know why I listen to them. I don't. I really don't. Like, and I try not to, but it's kind of like, when something's hot, I got to touch it, just how I am. I mean, I know I'm going to get pissed off, but, I have to figure it out on my own. But anyway, what do you guys think about the fight? I could go on and on and on about it, but, I'll probably end it there. And as far as the actual fight goes, I mean, Canelo, look, we know he's slow on his feet, but he's got quick hands and power. Now, Chavez, who knows? We don't know what version is going to show up. Or is he going to be completely drained and just weak as hell? Or man, if I was Chavez, I'd be in the best shape of my life. And even if I wanted to come in overweight, I'd pay the penalty. I heard that he's getting between 6 and 7 million, which is a good payday for Chavez. I mean, that's a damn good payday. He got like in the what was it, the Fonfara fight, he got 2.5 million. Okay, so 6 7 million and a percentage of the pay-per-view buys. I mean, that's a hell of a payday for Chavez. So you can't be too mad at that, right? Now, as far as the size, Chavez 6'1", Canelo 5'9". Now Chavez got a 73-inch reach, and then Canelo's got the 70 and a half. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty significant height and reach advantage for Chavez. So, I mean, I think it'll be a true test for Canelo, but any diva move, so much crap is in this contract. I probably down to the temperature in the arena. And also, I heard right now they're trying to figure out where the fight is going to be. If they have it in Dallas at the Cowboys Stadium, I will attend it and I will cover it as press. So hopefully they do have it there because, I'm not too far from Dallas. I'd be willing to go there. I won't travel anywhere outside of Texas for a Canelo fight. He's not worth it, in my opinion. I mean, and dealing with Golden Boy Promotion is an absolute nightmare. So, if they have it right here in Dallas, or, in the Dallas area, I'm in Houston, yeah, I can handle that. So I would definitely get my credentials and go cover the fight. Now here, let me read you a couple quotes and we'll end it on this, okay? Boxing has been searching for a fight to draw the casual fan back to our sport. Canelo Chavez Jr. is just that fight. This is Oscar de la Hoya. But the son of the biggest star in the history of boxing in Mexico, add in 98 victories, knockouts, blah, 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 between these two superstars, along with the Cinco de Mayo fight day, you have a can't miss battle. And he's right. It's going to be a great fight. Now, one thing, right, let me back up, back up, back up. All right, look, during this interview right here, this was before the Canelo fight. In that interview, Amir Khan, he's talking about the catch weight and the rehydration clause. He's saying, we wanted a rehydration clause, but Canelo, they said, no, we're not going to do it. But now, like the little bitch that he is, now, he's demanding, like kicking and screaming like a little baby that he's got to have a rehydration clause. But they won't give it to a light welterweight, but they want it against Chavez. you know, all right. Now they asked Canelo, how does he feel about going up? Because we all know Canelo, his idol is Chavez Sr. Okay, so he said, "I'm excited to announce my fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and confirm that I will be prepared like I've been throughout my career to give a great fight." Alvarez said, "I want to remind you that when two Mexican fighters face off, blah blah." Okay, said Chavez, or I'm sorry, said that was Chavez. "I dedicate this fight to Mexico. I'm going to win, but my country will too because this is a fight that boxing needs." Now, there was one that Canelo said, maybe I don't have it, but they asked Canelo about, how is he going to take it easy on Chavez Jr. because, like, Chavez Sr. is his role model, his childhood role model, and he said, no, the father is the father and the son is the son. I thought I had that quote, but I don't. But that's all it said, basically. But yeah, guys, I mean, what do you think about the fight? Like I said, I'm not disappointed in the matchup. I'm disappointed in the diva, bullshit behavior by Canelo Alvarez and Golden Boy Promotion and the double standard. I mean, why won't these other channels report on it? I mean, all we've heard for months out of these channels is, oh, well, Canelo needs to acclimate. He can't make the weight, blah, blah, blah. He's got to acclimate. And now, why won't they report? Why won't they say, well, wait a minute. I thought he needed to acclimate. How can he come in over the middleweight limit, but we've been reporting that he's acclimating for the past year, basically. I mean, do you see the double standard? That's it right there. I mean, they'll quickly call out any other fighter on their bullshit, but when it comes to protecting, whoever they want to protect, it makes perfect sense. Of course, I mean, this is their channel. He's like, well, of course they want a rehydration clause. He comes in the bigger guy, and I'm thinking in my mind, well, I mean, look at Canelo. I mean, my God. Like, okay. Let's go all the way back to Kirkland. Like I said, I was there. That fight again at the Canelo catchweight. Cotto at a catchweight. Actually, let's go back to Angulo in 2014. Catchweight. Irizarry Lara, catchweight. James Kirkland, catchweight. Miguel Cotto won the middleweight belt, catchweight. Amir Khan, catchweight. Liam Smith was not a catchweight. Now, he did win the light middleweight title off of Liam Smith, acclimating, right? He needs to work his way through light middleweight so he can get on up there to middleweight. But, whoa, wait a minute. Now we're over the middleweight limit. I mean, look, is Oscar de la Hoya like on coke again? I mean, I don't get it. I can't keep up with this shit. And, I know my boxing. I do. I mean, if there's anything in this world I know is boxing, and I would be more than happy to do like a live video chat with you guys. I know my body. You can ask me any question, and 9 times out of 10, I can answer the question about boxing history, about pretty much anything boxing related. Okay, but I cannot explain what these guys are doing. I don't know. I mean, we know that Oscar de la Hoya, we know that he wants Canelo to be the new Mexican Mayweather, the cash cow. We get that. We know that, right? But as far as they publicly contradict themselves, all right? They say one thing, and then the next day they do another, just like the interview with Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith on First Take. And you got Oscar de la Hoya saying, oh, yeah, we're going to have the fight, not at a catchweight, talking about the Gennady Golovkin Canelo Alvarez fight. He's, oh, it's not going to be at a catchweight. I guarantee you, I promise. I don't believe that. I mean, we'll wait and see. But it's like I said, anything that comes out of their mouth, you cannot believe it. So, It's hard to report on this guy because they constantly contradict themselves or they lie. They just flat out lie to the public. Like they sold us the Amir Khan fight as an acclamation fight, and they promised next we'd get Gennady Golovkin. Okay, that was in May of 2016, the Khan fight. And then in September 2016, we get Liam Smith, and so I mean, it's just crazy. They just literally they just lie to the public to get your money. Why would any channel support these guys? I don't understand it. But let me end on this. I want to throw out a special thank you. Lou Savarsi, and I always like mess up his last name. I call him Lou. I've known him for a while. You know, the guy that fought Mike Tyson. I was out over the weekend looking for a gym. There's me there. I went to Baby Bull Gym in Houston, Texas. I went to Lou's gym. There's the Baby Bull Boxing Academy right there. Great gym. But here's the gym I joined right here. Like I said, look this guy up. Fought Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson. He's a really nice guy. He's a promoter now. And I trained with this dude here, and I can't think of his name right now, but he is a Gennady Golovkin's friend. Like, he's from Kazakhstan too. So I actually got to train with this guy right there 2 days ago. Sorry, I cannot think of his name. But it's a great gym, and everybody there was very welcoming, very nice. I was looking for a new gym, and I went to the Knockout Factory as well. I don't think I have a picture of that one. I went to Baby Bull right here, and I went to Lou's gym right here, and then I went to the Knockout Factory. Shout out to Mike and Angel over there at the Knockout Factory. Thank you for the tour and the interview and all that good stuff, and shout out to Lou. Thanks for inviting me into your gym. They treated me like family. This window right here, I was right behind that window doing my training, but they don't allow cameras in there. Not yet. Like, after I become an active member, they'll allow me to film in there. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to give those guys a quick shout out and show my appreciation. Anyway, guys, like, share, comment. I mean, what do you think about this whole situation? I don't know what to make of it. Like I said, I'm happy. I like the fight. I like the matchup. Okay, because I mean, if they're, put it this way, if they're going to screw anyone over, if they're going to try to like fuck anyone over, I'd rather it be Chavez because he's naturally bigger. And he has a better chance than a guy like Amir Khan or a James Kirkland, right? You know what I'm saying? So they might be playing with fire. And how great would it be? How great would it be if Chavez can pull it off? I mean, could you imagine how great that would be? And I'll end the video on this, what I think. I mean, I was talking to a friend earlier today about the fight, and I mean, are they paying Chavez to take a dive? Could that be? I mean, really, because I think, this is the most dangerous opponent he's had in a while. I do. I mean, who other than, well, who do you have? Khan? There's no real threat, with Amir Khan to Canelo. Smith, yeah, I kind of had somewhat of a high expectation, but it didn't work out. Irislandi Lara, we know he runs and it's going to pitter pat. James Kirkland, he wasn't with Ann Wolf. We knew he was getting knocked out. Angulo was like just a human meat bag, a human punching bag, going all the way back to, September 2013 when Mayweather beat Canelo. I mean, to me, this is his toughest fight since then. So, I give him credit for that. But when you add all the bullshit diva demands in, that's where you lose all credibility, in my opinion. Counterpunch Boxing, we are out.